Trinidad has a famous carnival, world-class athletes, and the pulsating sounds of the steel bands. It also has Tobago. Located off the north coast of the main island, and only 26 miles long and 8 miles wide, it's an idyllic spot much loved by locals and visitors. And no wonder, deserted beaches, hotels for every budget, terrific snorkeling and diving, and some of the nicest people you'd want to meet. Hard to believe that this laid-back, sun-soaked island has a turbulent past. The Tobago Museum, located in the grounds of Fort King George, is the place to go to get an insight into the early history of the island.
The history of the island goes back to prehistoric times, pre-Columbian times. And as you notice, quite the amount of artifacts we have from the Amerindian period. And of course, the turmoil with colonial governments of Europe fighting over Tobago for over 300 years. And in recent times, we have our own history being carved out on this little island, which is just 112 square miles thereabout, and a population of about 50,000 people, predominantly people of African descent. The fort was built in the late 18th century. It started with the British and continued with the French occupation. And from time to time, it's either the British held it or the French held it for over a period of 50 years. And finally, it settled in the hands of the British in 1812.
The fort offers great views of the coast. You can also see the capital city Scarborough, nestled on the lowland below the fortifications. The market, even on a wet day, is a wonderful place to visit.
It's like an open-air bazaar, you know. I'm not too sure if it is one of our most attractive sites, but it's the surely most interesting site, because all the cacophony of voices that you hear and the color, the amount of color. So people who are interested in sampling the culture can just go around the market.
Many visitors are drawn to Pigeon Point, the most famous beach on the island. But it's small and can get crowded on weekends, and there are lots of others to discover. There's also a wide range of water sports for those who dare, and a trip to Baku Reef is something a visitor must not miss. The shallow water at low tide offers unbelievable views of this underwater Garden of Eden. Those who prefer the dry land are attracted to the wide-ranging flora, fauna, and wildlife.
If you really want to enjoy Tobago, you go up to the windward and the northern side of the island.
Fishing villages that dot the island offer the opportunity of a memorable trip to sea, where the company and conversation make for lively encounters and probably a few tall tales. The locals love to regale their captive audience with stories of pirate gold and hidden treasures. In days gone by, this part of the Caribbean was a mecca for ships bearing the skull and crossbones. The fish and chips at this local restaurant, tucked away in a tiny shop on the beach at Speyside, are highly recommended. So are the views. Meanwhile, the attractions of this converted sugar mill are enhanced by the permanent residents, who often accompany the afternoon jazz concerts and are always on time for dinner. Smart individuals, these peacocks. For more information on Tobago, visit our website on topoftheworld.net.